Hello viewers, thank you for joining me into this lesson. Today we are going to look at rationalizing denominator. So we have expression here on our screen. We see and the expression on the left hand side as irrational denominator, and this expression on the right hand side is irrational denominator. So today we are going to look at how we can rationalize an irrational denominator. Okay, so we have the first question here, 3 over root of 5. Okay, we are to rationalize and simplify this. So this will give us 3 all over root of 5 times the irrational denominator, which is root 5, also divided by the irrational denominator, which is also root 5. So this will give us 3 times root of 5. All this is being divided by, and root of 5 times root of 5 will give us root 5 all square. Okay, so moving on, we are going to have 3 times root of 5, and this is being divided by, first this is gone and this is gone, so we are left with 5. So basically this is how you can simplify or rationalize that irrational denominator. Let's look at the next one, which is 2 root 3. All this is being divided by the square root of 7. So we also have here 2 times root of 3 divided by root 7 times the irrational denominator, which is root 7. Okay, and when we work there, this will give us 2 times the square root of 3 times the square root of 7, and all this is being divided by the square root of 7 all square. Okay, so we know that the square root of 3 times the square root of 7 will give us the square root of 21. Okay, and the same thing here, this square has cancelled this way, so we are left with 7. So basically that is the solution. So let's look at the last one, which is the root of 5. Let me use it this way, square root of 5. This is being divided by the square root of 6 minus the square root of 2. Okay, then this also will be written as, before we look at this, we know the conjugate sort. If we have something like 3 plus root of 5, okay, the conjugate sort will give us 3 minus the square root of 5, or basically the operation sign will change. So this is positive and here will be what? Negatives, to give us a conjugate sort. Okay, so we will have here to be the square root of 5. Okay, no, sorry for that. We will have here to be the square root of 5. This should be divided by the square root of 6 minus the square root of 2 times the conjugate sort, which is going to give us the square root of 6 minus the square root of 2. No, it's not going to be minus, it's going to be plus, as I said it earlier, that if this, for the conjugate sort, if the given sort is a positive sign between them, then the conjugate will give us what? The alternate sign. So here we have negative, so the conjugate here will be positive. So here we have the square root of divided by the square root of 6 plus the square root of 2. Okay, so this is the same thing of saying the square root of 5 into bracket the square root of 6 plus the square root of 2, and this is also going to be divided by the square root of 6 minus the square root of 2 and being multiplied by the square root of 6 plus the square root of 2. Okay, there is a property that will help us to rationalize this denominator. So we have a property that says that if we have a plus b, okay, and a minus b, so we simply have what? A squared minus what? B squared. So this means that we are going to have, let's expand this bracket. The square root of 5 times the square root of 6 will give us the square root of 30. Okay, so this will give us the square root of 30, and the square root of 5 times the square root of 2 will give us plus what? The square root of 10. So we are just expanding the bracket. Take the square root of 5, multiply it by 6. Also take the square root of 5, multiply it by the square root of 2. Okay, now from the property here, I just explain it. We have here, the a here will be our square root of 6. So we are going to have the square root of 6 all square and minus, and the value of b here. So I'm saying that the value of our a will be the square root of 6, and the value of our b will give us the square root of 2. Okay, so this will give us the square root of 2 all square. And moving on, we still have the square root of 30 plus the square root of 10, and this will be divided by, you know that this is gone and this is gone, this also is gone and this is gone, so we are left with 6 minus 2. And moving on, this gives us the square root of, give us the square root of 30 plus the square root of 10, and this will be divided by 4. I know some of you might be tempted to say that the square root of 30 plus the square root of 10 will give us the square root of 40. No, they are not like salt, so we cannot add them, so we leave it this way. This is a way of leaving this expression. I hope you've learned something today. Please like and share this video. Thank you.